Hi, and welcome to episode 86 of M1 Yarns and the Michigan Makers Podcast. I'm your host, Jamie, and the dyer behind m1yarns.com. I'm a yarn dyer here in Metro Detroit. And if this is your first time, welcome. This is mostly knitting related, a little bit of spinning, a little bit of crochet, a little bit of yarn dyeing, which we're going to touch on today, and a whole lot of fun. So grab your project and maybe something to drink, which I forgot today, but we're winging it. My whole goal with this episode, I have a lot of fun new stuff to talk about with you, but my whole goal is to get through this in one take without any interruption. My MacBook just jingled. My other laptop is probably going to ding 1,001 times. FedEx is probably going to deliver, so the dogs will go berserk. Amazon, the mailman's already come, so we're good on that. My dogs hate all delivery people. And typically, at least once while recording, something sets them off. So my videos are typically, all that to say, I cut out a lot of the BS. So today, you might get some BS because I have a really busy week and I don't want to spend a whole lot of time editing this video. I figure let's just be raw and real and maybe a little unpolished. I promise I won't drop any bad words in case you're watching with your kids. I'll do my best. If I drop an F-bomb, I'll edit that out. That might be the only thing I edit out. So without further ado, where to begin? First and foremost, the day I'm planning to release this episode, Saturday, July 29th. This sounds right. The year is just getting away from me. I'll be vending at Wine and Wool at Sandhill Crane Winery / Vineyard in Jackson, Michigan. And if you're in the area, go get in your car, go to this event. It is my favorite fiber festival of the year. It's 10 to 5 on Saturday. And if you are watching this in the future, maybe I'll see you next July at next year's event. So I'm excited for that. So that is part of the reason why my week is so busy, because you know, going to a fiber festival as a vendor, you have a lot to load up, you have a lot of prep, you've got to, you know, pack your suitcase, you got to take care of things around the house before you go. You know how it is, like when you go on a trip. So it's like a trip, but 4 times as much work. Anyway, but my knitting mojo is on fire. I've got several new cast-ons. Rhinebeck sweater season has officially arrived. So going back about 5 years to my first 5 years? Yeah, I think it was the fall of 2019. That was my first Rhinebeck, which if you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm referring to the New York Sheep and Wool Festival that is held every October in the city of Rhinebeck, New York. It's in upstate New York. It's a beautiful town. There are some fringe events, and for me, it is like my girls' weekend getaway of the year. It's at the end of my show season, and it's a fun way to finally go yarn shopping myself instead of always being a vendor at all these shows. So all that to say, I have a tradition for myself that starting July 1st, I start my Rhinebeck sweaters. And I say sweaters because I'll need a sweater for Friday, and I'll need a sweater for Saturday, and I'll need a sweater for Sunday. So I start, my goal is to knit 1 in July, 1 in August, 1 in September, and then the first couple weeks in October I have to weave in any ends. So I already started one of my Rhinebeck sweaters a few months ago, and I think if you've watched this for a while, you've seen that I knit these sleeves. This is the Varma, sorry about the string like right in the middle of the screen, I'll do it like this. This is the Varma cardigan by and I'll insert a photo, Johana Johana Knits is her design name. This is a bulky weight with 2 strands of sport weight held together. And this is my own hand-dyed yarn. I kind of custom dyed this for myself. Although this light beige is my colorway Beach Sand. This is my wine colorway. But this like light, like, almost like hot cocoa powder. And this green are, no, this is my Beach Sand, sorry. What is this? I don't know what this is. I dyed it so long ago. I think I dyed it last year. Anyway, these 2 are not in my regular colorways, so I don't know if I'll add them. But anyway, so I knit the sleeves a few months ago. And then the other day I thought, oh, you know, it's July. I should get on with the body. Even though it's bulky, because it's such intense color work, you know, it might take a little minute. So I started the body the other day. It's bottom up. And I just kind of started the color work after the ribbing. I had got up to about here when I realized, so this is steeped, which if you don't know what that is, you knit it in the round and then you cut up the middle to make it an open cardigan. So you have like some dead, you know, almost like, oh, this is not even the middle, is it? Where am I? I'm so discombobulated. This is the middle. These little stitches that form this gutter is right where you're gonna cut, where I'm gonna cut. So you cast on and you include these in your cast on, but in the chart, they're not included, which some charts include them, some charts don't. But when I got to the beginning of the color work last time around, I was like, why do I have 2 extra stitches? And so I was like, well, I'll just knit 2 together twice and then be done with it. I got, you know, 4 inches into the color work and realized I no longer had my steek stitches. So I had to rip back, start over. Then I lost steam. Then I had other things I want to cast on. I have cast-on-itis. So hopefully I make some progress on that. At this point, it's looking more like I'm going to be knitting up until the last minute because both my other Rhinebeck sweaters, no, one is complicated and fingering, and one I just cast on the other day. But we're making progress, and it's a sweater I've knit before. So let me back up. I love cowboy boots. I'm from Colorado originally, and I'm just into it. I love country music. So I recently treated myself to these cowboy boots. And as soon as I saw them, and this really cool, like, these metal studs, I thought, I need boots that kind of coordinate. And originally, I mean a sweater to coordinate with my boots, rather. Originally, I was gonna knit a black sweater with like the beige and the brown and the tan with like some sort of metal, like a stellina yarn for the metal. And then I thought, well, that's kind of boring. Like, I should do something on theme. So I've previously knit the Cowgirl crop. I'll insert a photo. This is a design by Maral Mokri of Knitting Ruined My Life. I love Maral. She is salt of the earth. I test knit this design for her a couple years ago, 3 years ago, 2 years ago. Oh, life's a blur. And I wore it. Oh, I have a picture of myself with her and I at Rhinebeck wearing these sweaters. I gotta find the picture. I'll insert it. Anyway, I loved knitting the sweater. I think I knit that one in 10 days, although it was short sleeve. And this is her latest design. I just test knit this for her, and we're gonna come back to this in a minute, so stand by. So anyway, I cast on another Cowgirl crop, and this is gonna be long sleeve. So the fuzzy gray, you can kind of see the halo around here, is my Yak Dream yarn. This is a merino, yak, silk, and alpaca. And I'm holding that with the beach sand colorway on Hippie Lamb, which is my non-superwash fingering weight yarn. So this is a little more tan and this is a little more gray, but together they create like a really pretty tannish gray. So that's the main color. Okay, so let's talk about it from top down. This turquoise I held with, I thought I wanted a lot of metal in this. So I held it with a strand of this DMC embroidery floss when I cast on up here. And the more I looked at it, I thought, I don't like this. Well, rather than like rip back, I just decided last night at like midnight, don't make knitting decisions at midnight. I decided I would just cut that thread out and pick it out. I know this looks really atrocious, and I should not be admitting this, but I'm going to cut out all the metal because when I got down to here, I really liked how this turquoise looked without the metal. And if you look closely at the hat, it has metal in it, like a metal strand as well. And that is where I wanted to pick up like the little shimmer in the boots. So next up on the sweater is the boots. And the boots are going to be this like chocolatey black held with this DMC floss, which is like black and gold, which is also in that little black band on the hat. It doesn't look much different than the copper I held for the hat, for the like the copper and the copper for the hat part. Anyway, so that's going to be one of my Rhinebeck sweaters. The Varma cardigan, which I just showed, is going to be my second one. And my other sweater, I will hold that for another episode to when I've cast it on. But my knitting mojo is like on fire right now. So this is very exciting. So back to this. This is the Totally Tubular Tank by Maral Mokri. The design just got released, I want to say last week. And one of the other test knitters knit hers in like a soft, like silvery gray. And I loved how the neutral looked. And she made her shoulder ribbing like double the width, so it almost like created this like structured winged effect on the shoulders, and I loved that. And I knew right away I've got to cast on a neutral version for myself and do that same like extra wide ribbing. So about 10 days ago, and I don't know why you can see this line, it'll totally block out. It's where I separated for the top. This is knit bottom up. Gosh, that line is super visible. Well, I guess like there it is. I must have, I don't have a twisted stitch. My gauge just changed, but that'll block out. So I am at the point, I've knit the front, I'm knitting the back, which I know this looks crazy. I'm knitting the back panel up, so it'll be the length of the front. And then all I'll really have to do is seam the shoulders, pick up and knit the ribbing on both armholes and the ribbing on the neck, and voila. So I'm like 10 days into this, and I probably could finish in a couple days. So I'm geeked about this. And the yarn is Hobbii Happy Place, which is a merino cotton blend in DK weight. That's a collaboration between Hobbii and Tony Lipsy of TL Yarn Crafts, who is one of my friends and a delight. She's a phenomenal crochet designer, so go follow her if you don't already. So that's that. That'll be off the needles soon, and then I'll be able to pour more time into my Rhinebeck sweaters. And the last thing that's on the needles still, that's detracting from Rhinebeck sweaters. This might come to me with Rhinebeck, to Rhinebeck, if, like for a short sleeve version. This, I gotta get all the strands in the right place. I've shown before on the podcast. This is the Alpine Bloom by Caitlin Hunter. And the color work yarn, let me grab the ball, is my own hand spun. Don't look too closely, it's not well done. I'm a newbie spinner, but I'm loving it, and I'm getting better every time I sit down with my wheel. So I'm geeked. So that's the contrast color, and I really love how it color shifts. And then the mauve colorway is also Happy Place yarn by Hobbii and TL Yarn Crafts. So a wool, I don't know what's on here, dog hair, fuzz, a DK weight wool cotton. So all I have left on this, the design has like a lace neckline and sleeve, and you knit the sleeve bit that's in the main color down here, and then you attach it. Well, I didn't want to do that, so I'm just going to do ribbing here like I did here. Keep it simple. All I have to do, I've got about an inch on the body, is just knit stockinette on the body, do the ribbing at the hem, do the sleeves, and call it a day. So this should go pretty quick. And I don't know what else to say about this, except I'm ready to get it off the needles. You know when you get through the color work charts and you're just like, I do love knitting stockinette, but I do love something a little bit engaging. I did not even make a list of things to talk about this episode. Shame on me. I think I had a mental list. I thought I would mention something really fun that I've been doing. My local yarn shop is Have You Any Wool in Berkley, Michigan. Shout out to Shelly. Shelly and I have together hosted a Learn to Dye yarn workshop several times. We haven't done so since last summer, I want to say. But a few weeks ago, we were like, oh, we should host one, and we'll open it up to like 6 students. Everyone will dye a sweater's quantity of their own in their own colorway creation, that I kind of guide them through the process of learning how to dye. And well, that class sold out within like an hour of her posting it on the yarn shop's website. So then we listed it for a second session, another 6 students, and that sold out within like an hour. So then we added a third, and that sold out. So we're currently looking at future dates, but the next few months for me are super busy. So if you are in the Metro Detroit area and you are interested in learning how to dye yarn, definitely go follow Have You Any Wool on Instagram and their newsletter, which I'm sure you can sign up for on their website. But this class is super fun. It's just 2 hours. We can do sprinkles, speckles. We can do, you know, wild. We can work off a photo inspiration. So all that to say, I did the first session last night, and the yarn from, from that session is on the drying rack right now, but in about an hour, I should be good to twist it up into a skein, put a label on it. And so hopefully if I do that while I'm editing this video, I will insert photos of the colorways that these 6 people created. I was blown away at how beautifully they came out. I love collaborating on like custom colorways for customers, yarn shops, and this Learn to Dye class, because like I can only come up with so many ideas in my brain, but when you multiply that by, you know, however many other people, you get lots of ideas. It's fun to see things from a different perspective. So I'm really geeked about that. The next session is tomorrow night, and then I've got one next week. So what's really great is that Shelly, the owner of the yarn shop, has access to a commercial, like a church's commercially laid out kitchen. So long counters with a big island, big industrial sinks. And it's a great space where the 6 students and Shelly and myself can all kind of congregate. And then off to the side, we've had snacks. And I just have a blast. So if you're in Metro Detroit and you're interested, let me know or reach out to the yarn shop. I think that's all I have for you. If I have anything else, I'll just save it for the... No, that's not all I have for you. I say that, and then I'm looking right at something new in the shop that the day that this video drops, I'm releasing the kits. This is the Loop Shawl by Casapinka, and a lovely human being sample knit this for me so fast and so kindly. You know who you are. And I've got kits for this. This shawl comes in 2 sizes. This is the smaller version, but I think this is a nice size because truthfully, then it's almost like a spring summer shawl that is, I have so much hair that this is just a hot mess. A nice like layering piece, maybe for, you know, dinner or a movie where air conditioning is blasting and it's just like a little extra something. I even think that this would be a really cute beach sarong. I don't know, I just have visions. So I've got a limited quantity of phenomenal kits for this design. And I'll just show off this little bit. This contrast colorway is it's my party colorway, and I love it. So these kits are dropping today when you see this video, and it's going to be called the Loop Shawl Kit. So that's that. I don't think I have anything else for you. We got through this video without the dogs barking, without the computers dinging, without any disasters. I think that's it. So this is great. Thank you so much for joining me. I so would appreciate it if you enjoyed this video, if you would give it a thumbs up. And if you don't already subscribe, you can do so above, and be sure to hit that bell notification so that you get an alert when I drop a new episode about every 2 weeks or so, give or take, when I have something, you know, of interest or like enough content to chat about. So I hope your knitting is going well. If you are knitting something summery like a tee or a tank, I highly encourage you to join our knit along, which is the Summer Knits 24 Cal. That's the hashtag if you're going to post to Instagram for a chance to win a prize. Or you can join the chat in my Ravelry forum, which is linked below, with everywhere that you can find me. And show notes are below. And if you post to Instagram or the Ravelry forum, that gives you an opportunity for a chance. Like, that's your entry into the giveaway. Which the knit along will close late September. I want to say like around the 20th or 22nd, whatever the first day of autumn is. So it must be one of those. I'm sure that's how I picked the date. But anywho, yeah, if I think of anything else, it's just going to have to go into the next episode. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Bye.